race. Since Swalwell dropped out, Tom Steyer is the one that has received a big bump in the polls. And I know that our
Right.
community, as well as places like the DSA community, are reluctant to endorse a billionaire and someone that has maybe
Yeah.
not been as on top of Israel as we would like because he's Jewish. He won't say,
Mhm.
like he was on Hassan's stream and he wouldn't say the words Israel is committing genocide, even
Right.
though Hassan kind of tried to push him to do it.
Yeah.
Um, but
But I will
I don't,
say the fact that he
yeah,
was on Hassan's stream, I remember
right.
Tom Steyer from like
The
2016. The
presidential,
dude was
yep,
buying commercials on
right.
MSNBC that was just like, I'm against Donald Trump. And I'm like, who are you? And why do you have commercials telling everybody that you specifically are against Donald Trump? And then he ran for president, I think, in 2020. Um, and, yeah, he's a billionaire, but he's not Howard Schultz, the Starbucks billionaire. I got them too confused. I was like, this guy is the guy with the ads on TV, not the Starbucks guy. That's how I knew the difference. And considering that the Starbucks guy helped create Third Way or is involved in funding Third Way, which attacked Hassan, and Tom Steyer went on his show and has
Right.
not since the smear campaign distanced himself or said that was a mistake or blah blah blah. I'm like, I'd rather go with that guy, the guy who's open to it versus the guy who's trying to get Hassan like canceled or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think that's right. It's just my suggestion that the DSA consider endorsing Steyer kind of stems from my prediction that he's going to win.
Mhm.
Because I think if we endorsed him, then we would maybe have a positive relationship with him and then maybe have access to him.
Yeah.
But I ran that by a bunch of other California DSA chapters and they are not feeling it.
Mhm.
There's somebody else in the race who's running as People's Liberation Party or something, and
Mhm.
they like him better. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. I mean, we're endorsing Oliver Ma, who is a real socialist running for lieutenant governor, because in California, the governor and lieutenant governor are elected separately.
Mhm. Well,
So
I
that's kind of
like
exciting, but
I feel like the DSA is making a calculus. They are because you're presenting them with an opportunity. Hey, we can get access maybe if we make noise that we're endorsing this guy. And it sounds like they're just like, no, no, no. We want to only endorse. We want to lend our credibility as like almost like a non-player or a non-factor. Uh, but like we're gonna say that we like these candidates who fall in line with our values, and whether or not they win or not, these are the ones that align with our values, and that can work if you have power like you were the Catholic Church or a bigger organization than the DSA. I get it, but like it's a cred. It's a thing on a candidate's checklist. Like I am
right,
endorsed by this group, and if some people that's the thing they look for. I'm in New York. I look for the Working Families Party on any ballot that I'm going to vote in, or any candidate that I'm looking to interview or endorse or whatnot. I look for Working Families Party. But that's them deciding. And look, they have power clearly because Zoran is the mayor. But they, for a long time, it's just this is our values. This is who we suggest.
right.
They're probably not going to win, but you're so. It's just that I guess as leftists are
They
so
stand
used
on
to
their
losing.
views. They
Yeah,
stand on their principles, and
yeah.
I
So it's
respect
like
that.
DSA could be could because you could work like that too, and DSA becomes like a pack almost, where it's like
Hmm.
here's a bunch of resources, and if we endorse you, then you're gonna get boots on the ground, running your helping your campaign and stuff like that, and you might compromise a little bit and go like, okay, we'll endorse this billionaire, even though the idea of billionaires is against our values, but we can work with this guy to get
Well, he's
taxes.
giving all
and,
of it
like
away. That's
he's
the
a
thing.
class trader. Yes, exactly. Like he's a
he's
good
given a ton
billionaire,
of money to
quote
his charity. He's giving his kids each like $100 million, and then the rest he's giving away. And he says he's not going to be a billionaire by the time he dies,
unquote. Right.
because he's giving all his wealth away.
Right. And so it's just like the calculus that the DSA is making it to be like, no, we want to stay an organization that just kind of endorses along our values, and whether they win or not, or we have more. That's the thing. If you compromise a little bit, I think your argument is like you get more power than, and that you use that new power to help more people.
Right.
And it's, you need that. Like that's the YouTube channel thing that you were talking about, like getting a hold of that channel, using it as a force.
Right.
Like get all kinds of creators on this channel, like make it a 24-hour, make it like this space is a 24-hour news network.
That how small the DSA is. It's only 100,000 members, and that's just not that many people.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people's free time, and no one's getting, not a lot of people getting paid.
Some
for
chapters
this.
are a joke. Like some chapters are just people getting together once a month and not really doing anything because they don't have the numbers. So, it's just an interesting.
But if we get,
it was an interesting idea. I don't know. Like, I know a lot about political marketing and political theory and political calculus, especially with respect to elections. But I don't know how it works once the person is in office. Like, would endorsing Tom Steyer lead to us having a direct line of access to him? Or would it be just like, oh, okay, thanks, see you later. I don't really give a shit about what you have to say or what you have to do.
I mean, depends. It depends who you are. It's like, any kind of, hey, this guy is a big personality. They've got, I mean, dude, the social media is a perfect thing for any organization to calculate how many followers do we have? How popular are we? How much does it matter if we kind of blow this person off and help this person out? You know what I mean? So like, I think again, it could work and it could be helpful to.
Well, it's not going to happen because
it's not going to happen now. But
I already surveyed the California delegates from the convention, and they're like, no fucking way.
But the big thing that come out, I thought you were going to talk about. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just wanted to respond to Latina Mafuna because Latina Mafuna is like one of our most loyal viewers. How do small chapters become large chapters? Really good events, gatherings, whether they be social events. I think the social events are the most important because it's that sense of community that keeps people coming back to the meetings. Partnerships with other groups, doing things like getting out there on No Kings and recruiting people. But usually it comes down to whoever's in charge of membership growth. There's usually one person on the steering committee that's in charge of membership growth. And if that person's solid and then you get 2 or 3 people behind them, then you can grow. But it does take time. The good news is being a member at DSA isn't expensive. It's only like $15 a month, something like that.
Word. But like the reason we're talking about Tom Steyer in the first place is because Swalwell dropped out.
Yep.
Because Swalwell is a fucking creep, turns out.
Yeah, he looks like a creep. I asked my wife about him, and she was like, yeah, that dude looks sleazy as fuck.
Yeah. I remember...
Did you have something you wanted to react to relevant to that?
No, but I'm just like, that's why we're talking about Steyer for the folks who watch it.
Yeah, no, it's a it's a fucked up blessing, but it's a blessing that Swalwell is out of the race because he sucks.
Because he was really riding the like resistance train, like Gavin Newsom, a lot of rhetoric, not a lot of action. Cory Booker, that vibe, and the only thing the right really, because he was a darling, MSNBC loved him, CNN loved him. But the only thing the right wing really had against him was this allegation of a Chinese spy that he like had a relationship with. And I don't know what the validity of that story, but because it's only the right wing talking about it, I give it no credibility. And especially it sounds kind of wacky and out there. But now with all these allegations, I'm like, maybe there was, or maybe it's just an Asian woman that he assaulted that the right wing is like, it was a spy because they're racist. Or it was really a spy and they knew like he had these predilections and like here's a honeypot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I got some stuff we can react to.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's start with this. I think this is a good thing. Right wing craziness. Right wing craziness. Let's begin with this statement echoed first said, I think, a couple days ago on Pod Save America by Hassan, said Republican Party are the biggest terrorists. Now Kyle Kalinske joining in and reiterating, yes, they are the terrorists.
But do not, under any circumstances, reach out to these motherfucking Republicans. Let's be serious. In the year 2026, the year of our Lord 2026, the Republican Party is a terrorist organization. It just is. It just is. I'm sorry. It just is. Like, there's no other. That is an objective.
So this is part of my language with white trash fascism, treasonous Trump trash terrorists, Confederate flag waving, Bible beating gun nuts. Like, there's a saying in storytelling, generality is the death of art. Well, that implies that specificity is the key to good communication. So Confederate flag waving, Bible beating gun nuts, treasonous Trump trash terrorists, white trash fascists. Go ahead.
Word. Get those in rotation, folks.
Factual description of the basis of this fucking party. It is fascist, imperialist, terrorist death cult. That's what it is. And it's time to recognize that and to stop chasing these motherfuckers when they literally can't even give a single reason. Hey, here's why I couldn't vote Democrat. Here's my explanation. Doesn't even bother to try. Just, Democrats are Democrats, and that means that they're bad. So Republicans it is.
Right. That's a good point I didn't even think of. Oops. Matter of fact, that's a good point I didn't even think of. They don't even explain like why you've been voting for these people then if you criticize them so much. Matter of fact, here's a clip that I had lined up as well. Where is it now? Finding the clips is the hardest part because I have so many. Oh, here we go. So this goes in line because he's saying, don't even fucking reach out to these fucks. Don't give them any kind of credit because where the fuck were you all this time? Right? I agree with that. But here's Ilhan Omar talking about like Marjorie Taylor Greene and when these people do have like a come to Jesus moment or whatever it is.
Well, how to do it, how to deal with it.
How to deal with it.
I think they're starting to understand that a lot of us, our objection wasn't just to him. It was to what he wanted to create, what we could see he was trying to create. A lot of the divisions that we have, a lot of the toxic, rhetoric that we see, a lot of the anger that so many people have, a lot of the fact that, there is no trust in public service is something that he fomented for many years and has seen it actually has given birth to it, and we all are suffering the consequences of it. And I'm glad as my fellow Americans that they understand that they want us to chart a new chapter in America.
Have you like called Marjorie or you guys talked at all? I mean, I know she's not in Congress anymore, so you probably wouldn't run into her.
That's a point. Is she's not in Congress anymore. She could have stayed and fought and actually used power, but she's not. She's like, I don't know, I'm going to start a podcast or have a show or write a book or whatever the fuck and be safe herself. Now. I got my money. I'm okay. So now I can say this shit.
Right.
Tucker Carlson, same way. He got out. I mean, look, he got fired from Fox, but he's Tucker Carlson. He's got plenty of fucking money. He's got inheritance money on top of what he's made, so he's just got his podcast and he just shouts out whatever. They're trying to build their own like empires. They're sowing the seeds because they know Trump's 80 years old and losing it. And also 80 years old. There's a time limit. We all have a time limit. So there's a world after, and they're trying to lay the groundwork to be the thought leaders of that world after. And it's all insincere. And whatever credibility, I was just watching Pep Talks. Shout out Pep Talks. He shouts you out. Deter, but he was watching Mehdi Hassan, and Mehdi Hassan is, I love the dude, but he's talking about like, give him a little, don't go on their shows, don't interact with them. And I'm like, well, then why are you retweeting them and being like, can't believe I agree
Right.
with Marjorie Taylor Greene, can't believe I agree with Tucker Carlson. Stop giving them any kind of legitimacy. If your core belief is I'm not going to go on your show and give you legitimacy, it goes against each other. Like, anyways,
Yeah, it's contradictory.
I don't know. It seems powerful, and it's a good message, I think, to a lot of people out there who are tempted to scold former MAGA folks and say, I told you, we were right, you were wrong, right? As opposed to kind of like building a bigger tent.
Yeah, I did see Rokana, give her a big shout out the other day. I haven't called her, but I did before she left. I found her on the house floor and thanked her for her support in ending the genocide, her willingness to speak up about what the people in Gaza have experienced and what our tax dollars have allowed to take place as we all worked really hard to say that we have a responsibility to end this genocide and to end our financial and political support for Israel and the impunity that we have constantly provided for them as they have tried to destroy a group of people.
So that's what I mean. I want to bring up, damn it, I keep pressing the wrong button. I want to bring up that question. Kyle versus Ilhan Omar. Do you embrace them or do you go, you were wrong this whole time, go fuck yourselves?
I think there's a third alternative, which is welcome to the sunny side of the street, but shut up for the next few cycles and talk to your people.
Yeah.
Like we've talked about with why the I've Had It podcast has become so successful, because they're saying a lot of the same things that most of the content creators on this channel have been saying for a long time, but they become insanely popular because suburban wine moms are waking up to and actually doing their goddamn homework. And that's why they listen to them. So Marjorie Taylor Greene can go talk to anti-MAGA white suburban moms if she wants and bring them over to our side. But a lot of the people that were popular with Marjorie Taylor Greene, or that Marjorie Taylor Greene was popular with, are anti-choice, are pro-life.
Right.
Like they're anti-abortion. So you're never going to get them to vote Democrat. Like that's the big divider. And that's why, like, Tellerico was talking about having pro-life people in the Democratic Party. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? That's like one of the cornerstone policies that makes up the Democratic Party. No, you don't need to do that. He keeps catering to the citizens as opposed to what really great leaders do, which is receive the citizens' views, but then try to influence the citizens' views.
Expand them.
You don't know as much about these issues as I do because this is my job. My job is to understand the mechanics of government and explain them to you if you don't understand them.
And to imagine how they can be used for things that, Mamdani, 100,000 potholes in 100 days. That's a small thing. Sewer socialism, it's called, right? Show people what you can do materially, like fixing potholes, fixing the sewer, making
what about the
things run
trash
better.
In New York? Doesn't everyone
the
take out their
trash.
bag? Like, why does everyone take out and throw their bags of trash on the street? Is that the way the system works?
Every building has different systems. That's, we have cages where there's a key and you have to unlock it to be able to put your trash in the garbage bins there. But like all buildings have different rules and whatnot. But that's one of the great things about showing, like you said, expanding what people can imagine government doing, because for so long government's just seen as the enemy and bad, and Republicans have dedicated their careers to getting into office to make it bad so that it craters people's faith further and they can do whatever they want in the private sector. That is the point of the Republican Party, at least, and really both of them, for the last 40-50 years.
So this is something I want to talk to you about, because I talked to an old conservative friend of mine today, Material benefits over identity politics all the time. Now, I hate the term identity politics, but it is kind of true that the neoliberal Democratic Party establishment is still riddled with identity politics.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, like, if you're a straight white man like I am, you know, they don't want you running for office. They want you maybe working for someone running for office if that's what you want to do. But, you know, just because you're a straight white man, they're not really interested. They're not as psyched about promoting you as it is everybody else. There are all these groups that, you know, are funds to support minorities and women running for office. And that's great. But, I mean, the harsh reality of Kamala Harris is that she was a DEI vice president. And she didn't have any business being the presidential nominee. It should have been an open convention. And that would have been really exciting. And Obama could have come back and done it and conducted interviews and managed debates. It would have been really cool. Could have set a new standard for what the process would be like. And instead, Joe Biden endorsed Kamala Harris right away. And then everybody got behind that. And so, you know, with one sweeping motion, Joe Biden decided to change history for the worse. And set us up with Kamala Harris as our
he could have
DEI
withdrawn
presidential
earlier
nominee.
and whatnot. And I think I agree with you. Like, you embrace them and you go, shut the fuck up. Like, that's what you do with the right wingers. You go, okay, Tucker, you said something. I'm not going to point out and go out of my way to praise you for saying something that we've been saying for fucking ever and that you don't believe. And I know you don't believe. You're just doing this to, like, get followers and clickbait and whatever. You're doing this to get the New York Times to write about how you said this. Oh, Tucker's breaking from Trump. Tucker gets in the fucking news feed and now he's popular again. That's the point.
Right.
So you embrace. Sorry, excuse me. If MAGA legitimately, like, voters are like, hey, come over here. You're gonna vote the way we fucking tell you to. You don't weigh in on who we're picking for candidates and shit. Like the Sarah Longwell lady on the Bulwark who was like, the neocons infected the Democratic Party. All us never Trumpers. I've been saying this since 2015. When there was Republicans being like, I can't get behind this. I'm out. And they go to MSNBC or CNN or these other places. And they're just like the Lincoln Party, like whatever. We're just going to try and move the Democratic Party
to the right.
into the Reagan Republican Party that we want it to be. And fuck you. No, you can't. You line up behind the socialists who are going, no, you don't. We have to vote for Abdul El-Sayed. We have to vote for someone who's going to restate and reframe the way we fight in this country.
We need Democrats who have the courage to stand up to the power brokers in our own party, let alone Trump and his goons. We don't back down. We don't back down. We don't back down. With all due respect, if they go low, we don't go high. We take them to the mud and choke them out.
That's right.
That's
kick them in the,
what
when
I
they
mean.
go low, we kick them in the teeth.
Yeah. That's what I mean. That's the new way. That's woke 2.0.
Yes.
We're fighting dirty. We're fighting dirty. We're making fun of you. We're calling you fucking weird. It's happening. We're ripping the Band-Aids off. It's gloves off.
When someone goes to war with you, like, you have to go to war with them. I mean, that's the framing that I try to get everyone on board with, is that this is a war. Yeah. That they are waging war on us, and they have been waging war on us for 10 years now. And it's time to counterattack. Mm-hmm. And it's time to say, you know, we're not going to, I mean, what I want, you know, AOC, right? She says no more money or weapons to Israel. Mm-hmm. What I would add to that, no more money or weapons to Israel for 100 years, and make that codified so that no president can change it in the future.
Word.
And then,
or until these conditions are met,
right?
Like in your Constitution.
Rhetorically, the thing that I would like to see too is get everybody in the frame of mind that it's a war and it needs to be 40 years long so that we can outlast the boomers. Did I
Yeah.
tell you about this wealth statistic, by the way, along generational lines? Boston, Brian, good to see you. I know you'll
What up?
appreciate this statistic.
Oop.
Baby boomers by themselves control 61% of all wealth in America. You add silent generation to that, it ends up being like 75%. And then you add Gen Xers, and it ends up being 91%. So people who are 46 and older in America control 91% of all wealth, which
That's
means so you're taking out kids now. So which means people aged 18 to 45, there's 9% of wealth that's available to them. Like, and I understand that the older people are going to have more money because they've had more time to make money, but that lopsidedness, I think, is really indicative of the major demographic problem, which is along generational lines, not racial lines, not immigrant citizen lines, not gender lines. It's along generational lines.
Yeah. And it's like your metaphor of the country with the left being the kid, the Democratic Party being the mom, the Republican Party being the dad. The dad's been punching both the kid and the mom, and the kid wants to fucking fight back and has the tools to fight back and would win, but the mom is holding the kid back. That's Chuck Schumer. That's Nancy Pelosi.
Yes.
That's the generation. And we're
Hakeem
not doing that
Jeffries.
anymore. We're kicking free.
To give you an idea, you an idea of an example of identity politics that like drives me nuts. Jim Clyburn, who's one of the biggest pieces of shit that Congress has ever seen. Okay. Jim Clyburn is staying in Congress. Why? And he has said this. It's explicit. Because he wants to see the first black Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries.
Right.
Never mind that Hakeem Jeffries sucks. Never mind that the Democratic Party leadership, in terms of approval polls, is lower than the Republican Party. You know, it's about the first black Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. Because we can have a first black Speaker of the House, and they could be Ayanna Pressley. It could be someone better.
Right.
It's the difference of a person versus a color or sex or gender. Exactly. Fuck that shit. We're going into the fucking mud, and I want to show this to you. This is from Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. That's the Doel quote reminded me of this one from Batman fighting a gang leader in a mud pit. You don't get it, boy. This isn't a mud hole. This is an operating table, and I'm the surgeon. We are the surgeons. We know how to fight these white trash fascists. We know how to fight them.
Yeah.
We're going to show you the way. You can get in line and follow us, or get the fuck out of the way. Go join the Republicans. We're kicking you out of the party. Well, you're out of the tent. We're not bringing you into our tent, motherfuckers.
Good call on Latina Mafuna here real quick, because Clyburn is a useful tool for white liberals. Malcolm X said white liberals are the problem. MLK said the white moderates are the problem. So it's ironic that Jim Clyburn is a black man standing in the way of real progressive, real progressive,
real change, real help for it's trash panda behavior. But Mom, here in New York, we're in Mom Donnie's stand. We're doing pretty well.
See, this is the thing. The Big Tent. I hate this term, Big Tent. It's like the quality of the tent, right? And what's the foundation of the tent? What's the foundation of the party?
What are the 10 poles?
Millennials and Gen Z. That's the foundation of the party. Everyone else is welcome, but it's millennials and Gen Z now. Like, we need to take charge. It's our time. Because
it's our time.
The baby boomers started taking over when they were in their early 40s. Bill Clinton was the first baby boomer president, and he was like 42 or something, or 44 when he took office.
That's actually interesting to know. I didn't know that. It's all the fucking boomers, man. God damn it. But yeah, here in Mom Donnie's stand, we're doing all right. We got a concession from the governor. Huge win for Mom Donnie's tax and rich plans. Mom Donnie just secured a deal with Governor Hochul to create the state's first ever tax on $5 million plus second homes owned by the ultra wealthy out-of-state residents. Again, this is like the furthest out point that they could agree on because it's so outlandish. But like, listen to this. Hochul hopes to raise $500 million annually. It'll be used to address the city's deficit. That is
because they have a balanced budget.
People who don't live in New York State, or at least their residency isn't in New York State.
Right.
They have homes worth more than $5 million
yeah.
that they don't live in.
Yeah.
That's what's getting taxed, and that will raise $500 million annually. That shows how much room there is, and that's great. Getting one concession just shows how. Again, give us an inch, we'll take a fucking mile. We'll take that fucking mile.
Yeah, no, I mean, Zoran's got the boroughs on his back, and he's leveraging them very well. And cheers to Hochul. I mean, she's caving to pressure. Like, it's taking pressure to get her there, but she is getting there. So that's what we could use is like liberal white women kind of being like, you know what? I'm not liberal anymore. I'm progressive. That would be because the demographic
I like that
shift.
I've had it show.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean? Like, it is. I was there. I was there at the rally with Bernie and AOC shouting her down with chants of tax the rich. Mm-hmm. And it's working. She's up. I mean, she's running for governor. She has to cave to this pressure. This is where the energy is. Right. This is where the national and global attention on New York City is. You have to listen to this guy. And that's why I'm fighting for Lindsey Boylan to get on the city council to help make sure that's the case.
Did DSA endorse her?
Oh, yes. Nice. Let me see. Working Families Party, for sure. DSA, I don't know.
They might not have voted on it yet.
But
which is too bad
she's got a lot of endorsements.
Which is too bad because if they endorsed her, they could help her campaign. They could get out there and knock doors and stuff like that. So
special election early voting starts in 3 days, and I will be doing that. But the official special election is the 28th because the person in that district is now a state senator. Now that's why there's a special election, and then June and November and blah blah blah. But this is Mamdani talking about. I thought this would be great to play for you. The Margaret Thatcher quote about socialism and how he flips it, because I know you know this history and you can explain it to me.
I have thought often of the Margaret Thatcher quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friends, it seems that you eventually need a socialist to clean up the mess. On January 1st, I told New Yorkers that City Hall would hold a singular purpose: to make this city belong to more of its people than it did the day before. For 102 days, we have endeavored to do exactly that, delivering both public goods and public excellence. I have thought.
I mean, this is from his first 100 days rally. I like that he's not backing down on anything. This is him talking about immigration, because again, that's a scary. I'm still nervous, dude, walking around, like, especially my hair grown out. I'm racially ambiguous, and these fucking idiot cop chuds do not know,
the difference.
They'll just take me. Hey, I look at them wrong, and forget about the NYPD. Like, I'm already nervous just growing up here.
And it is the change that democratic socialism can deliver. I know there are many who use socialist as a dirty word, something to be ashamed of. They can try all they want, but we will not be ashamed of using government to fight for the many, not simply the few. We will not be ashamed of adding more heat pumps to NYCHA buildings in the Rockaways, or building more supportive housing in Harlem, or standing steadfast alongside our trans neighbors. We will not be ashamed of investing in youth mental health clinics, or working to close Rikers, or fighting for immigrants targeted by ICE. To any New Yorker, whether you're under attack from the federal government's cruelty or suffocating under the affordability crisis, we will stand beside you.
You know what I'm talking about? Like getting in, that's the win. That's the DSA win.
Yeah.
Getting someone in, having them make material change so that people feel it. They can't deny it. Like something's different in the air for sure. It feels a little bit smoother. Now, if I talk to random people, it's like, we have a new mayor. What are you talking about? There was an election. Most
Really?
people don't just, I mean, that's America, right? That's probably the world. You know, I'm sure there's people walking around Lebanon being like, why are we getting bombed? What happened? Like, I don't know. Maybe not. But probably, again, way more tuned in than maybe that's an American specific problem.
I mean, yeah, if you look at voter
as other
participation,
people. Yeah, I'm sure people in Ukraine and Lebanon and more like
know a little
up to
bit more
date
about what's
of
going
what's
on.
going
Yeah.
on. But people, you know, I can notice again the like phone booth link things that we have, that instead of phone booths we have like phone charger stands that have screens on them. They play ads a lot of time, but now they play like, hey, you can sign your kid up for childcare. Hey, you can get fast and free buses. Like, they're implementing these things. It's working. And you know, dude, getting the governor to cave to you, that's huge. That's huge for DSA, Working Families Party. They should have a YouTube channel where they're constantly talking about the wins here and who's winning elsewhere and policies that are getting passed, whether they be from, you know, DSA affiliated candidates or not, or just like, hey, these policies are popular. These are our policies.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think Zoran knows how to play the game really well. He took those funny newspapers, like the fake newspapers, down to Trump when he went and saw him, like Trump builds and like Trump's a builder. Like, he knows how to play the game, and
FDR,
it makes sense to me just being a DSA member that DSA would do well with city councils and mayoral elections, and then not necessarily be as solid on statewide races or even national races. And that has to do with just the organizational structure of DSA, and that there's a lot going on at the top that, you know, I found out when I submitted that video to try to get control of their YouTube channel, that you know, it's ironic because it's the collective over the individual, but then there's all these individual interests for the people who are on the national political committee. So it's like, I told the person who submitted that video to the national comms committee, she was like, yeah, other people have priorities and projects and going on. And I'm like, yeah, make this your number one priority, because it's the biggest layup that your organization has ever seen. Like, let's get the Ashik and Megan Romer on YouTube all the time. And we need stars. Like, we need stars. Zoran's a star, but we need like activist stars too, who are going to be like, you know, like Kyle Kalinske and Hassan, like more Hassans, you know, like a DSA sanctioned Hassan.
So I wanted to bring this up to you because I'm sure you know more about tax policy than me. This is another star that could be soon a senator, Graham Plattner, coming out with his tax plan. We just rolled out a tax plan that ends free rides for the billionaire class, a wealth tax on the super rich, a cost of living tax cut for the rest of us, and keeping Social Security solvent. And I just want to kind of like look through this. Someone has a link here. Here's the link. Oh my God. It's opening Acrobat. Okay.
Yeah,
Here we
Sean
go.
is a star, that's for sure. Okay.
Do you want to go through this?
I don't know. I mean, what's the summary? Is there a summary?
Let's see.
Is he going to tax unrealized gains is what I want to know.
Okay, here we go. Here's a 2-point plan. A wealth tax on the ultra rich. Reasonable proposals call for a 5 to 6% tax on wealth over $1 billion, which alone could raise over $4.4 trillion. Income taxes alone cannot address the massive concentration of wealth in the hands of a few. only a tax on the wealth can do so.
So that's the difference between income taxes and capital gains taxes. The difference between being rich and being wealthy. Rich is a high net income. Wealthy means you have investments that are generating returns, and eventually when you retire, you live off the returns and your money still grows.
Right. Okay. And that's the
Capital gains taxes are only at 20% thanks to Trump.
right. So, and that's the hey, that's our stuff in investments.
Right.
Okay.
So
So
if you
this
bought
is
a
a tax
stock-
on
if you-
investments.
So if you bought a stock for $100 and then you sold it for $200, you have now you've got $100 profit. That's $100 capital gains, which means you have to pay $20 for that return.
Okay. As opposed to what Plattner's suggesting is maybe a little bit more.
Well, the problem with this taxing, and I need to talk to more people, but in general, money doesn't get taxed unless it moves. So when it moves from employer to employee, it gets taxed. When you invest the money, it doesn't get taxed, but when you take the money out of the market, it does get taxed.
Right.
So
it just sits there, it doesn't, but it grows, so you could take out a loan against it for that amount.
Yeah,
and not technically have moved the money.
Exactly.
Right?
So that's
Okay,
that's
I'm learning.
that's the real fucked up part about cash
That's what
flow
Elon
and
did to,
generating
buy
money.
Twitter.
Yeah, they get loans against their equity. So it's artificial value. So you could have, let's say you got $10 million in stock and you could take out a loan against that without moving the money.
Right.
So now you have the money to use for other investments or other
Or
purposes.
buying a boat or whatever.
Yeah, or
buying
whatever.
humans from Jeffrey Epstein.
Right, but because your rate of return is better with the stocks than it is than the interest rate is on the debt, you're coming out ahead.
Interesting. So let's keep going.
So this is, I just don't know about this. I don't know, they can hide their money in foreign accounts. I don't know how you tax unrealized gains.
I mean, we have to start trying. I think that's what this is trying to do. Is we
Yeah,
have
I know,
to begin
I agree,
somewhere.
but they can hide they're so good at hiding their money.
I know, because they're criminals. Because it's just crime, and crime.
Yeah, they're
crime you can do
gangsters, yeah.
fast, and it takes a while for the law to catch up.
Yeah.
So income taxes alone cannot address. Wealth taxes have been the third rail of politics for obvious reasons. In a nation where billionaires can buy elections at will, but has gone too far. Americans will not allow ourselves to sink into a permanent underclass in a world dominated by a handful of oligarchs. This is fight language. I love it. Again, get in the mud, surgeon. A new era of American economic diplomacy towards a global billionaire minimum tax. For decades, foreign policy has been dominated by trade agreements and endless wars that exploit workers and send our young people to die. It's time for a new era of American economic diplomacy. We cannot allow billionaires to defend the societies that made their fortunes possible simply by shuffling money into an offshore account. This global concentration of wealth has given a handful of people more power than entire nations, leaving workers everywhere to pick up the tab for a lopsided global economy. America must lead the charge for a global, dude, I love this, a global minimum tax to break this chain of dominance and ensure that extreme wealth is finally reinvested in the public good, regardless of where it is parked. Yeah, this is exactly what you're talking about. And this is the beginnings of it. Again, Graham Platter, dude, the Streisand effect with Hassan. You talked about.
I don't know if you have to report. I don't know if you have to report your holdings. Like you have to report your capital gains moves, but I don't think you have to report every year to
change
the
those
IRS.
laws. Make it so you do.
But I think the idea is good, but as you know, good ideas are a dime a dozen. It's the execution that matters. Just ask Microsoft versus Apple, right? Like same idea, different execution. Apple did it better, and that's why
depends on the market. But yes, and
yeah,
Apple dominated the main market,
right?
For sure. So this is multiple pages, and I just found it interesting. I wanted to get your take on it because
I think it's great. I think it's great. I think Plattner is great, and it's the start of a conversation about how you actually execute all that without them hiding their money.
Now I know you're disappointed because I don't like sports. So it's hard to chit chat about sports with me. But I did see this clip, and it's someone my dad watches all the time. Not necessarily his show, but shows that he's on because he's fucking everywhere. And it's Stephen A. Smith, who I think has been toying with a run for president, if I'm not mistaken.
He was, yes.
So
I don't like.
I've had this clip up for like a week or two because I've been wanting to talk to you about it. Just get your take on him. He is. Oh, look at what this is him on Bill Maher's show, talking about Zoran Mamdani. So good segue.
What happened in New York? Look at what happened in New York City. No disrespect, but do we really think that Zoran Mamdani was the most qualified candidate to be mayor of New York City? Come on now, we know better. I'm wishing him well. I'm wishing I'm not being disrespectful. He's smart, he's sharp, he's quick on his feet. I'm not
Slotkin right there.
Yeah, Slotkin. Yeah, sweet.
I mean, anyway, but he had never done anything. You got a former governor, who was a 3-term governor, coasting to his fourth before the scandal hit. You boot him out of office.
What was that scandal? You don't want to mention that scandal. Okay.
Yeah.
He's qualified to get your support for 3 terms en route to 4 to run the state. But you don't want to run in the city. And you're going to hand the reins to a 33-year-old
who's also a communist.
Okay.
I mean, and I'm not saying
What?
that it's blur.
Oh, he's not.
It's his political view. It's a view you're allowed to have in this country, and people are allowed to vote for.
So you have people that don't mind that, and they want that in this country. And unfortunately, if you're a Chuck Schumer or some of the old guards, you're at the mercy of all of that, still trying to stay in office, knowing that you got voters out there that would support that ahead of you. Look at
now that's the only part I agree with him on.
Yeah, so he's right about that.
He
he's not stupid. He's just really ignorant.
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith is not stupid. He's really ignorant. He's really narcissistic. I don't think he actually talks like that. My theory is that he's been talking like that for so long that it's just how he talks now. But before he was on TV, I don't think he talked like that.
He is very much hamming it up.
Yes.
There's a senator, Kennedy, not related to the Kennedy family.
Yeah,
He's
in
the
Louisiana.
Republican. He talks like Foghorn Leghorn.
Yes.
He doesn't really talk like that.
I want you to look me in the eye. Yeah.
I'm just a simple Southern lawyer,
No, so they're different. I can do different accents. I can do different Southern accents. So there's like Arkansas, and then there's Texas, which has a little bit of a whistle. Then there's Louisiana. What is it? It's like Louisiana. Yeah, Louisiana accent. You don't sound out of the still. Can you even understand me when I'm saying that? I want to do that. I want to do a video where I'm doing the Southern accent, but you can't understand me. So there's subtitles on the bottom.
That's a good idea. But yes, I think Stephen A. Smith is one of the biggest performers. He's up there with Drake. He's up there with Kanye. He's up there with Jay-Z. As I'm one of the people, man. I'm not just all about trying to get money and fucking over whoever I have to get as much money as possible, to get as close to whiteness as possible, because that's their fucking complex that they've been working through. They are, like you're talking about with Jim Clyburn, they are sellout trash pandas of the highest degree. And unfortunately, sports is filled with quite a lot of them.
Yes. The dumb jocks, man. The stereotypes exist for a reason, dude. And, the people that are A-list athletes, you got to understand they're good at one thing. They're the best at one thing. But that doesn't – and some of them are good at other things, but mostly they're the best at that one thing.
That one thing, and everything else goes by the
everything else falls into the place because they're the best at that one thing.
Yeah.
If anytime you're the best at anything, depending on the culture that you're operating in, you should be able to provide for yourself.
Yeah, and I mean Charles, they not like us. They run to Atlanta when they need a check balance. They not like us. And Jay-Z, I don't know, Latino, if Jay-Z is in the Epstein files, other than, like a lot of celebrities are, just they happen to be at parties where Epstein was. And
Right.
so they're
The guy
like
knew
mentioned. But I agree, Nas should do E3 Part 2 because fuck Jay-Z. Dude, Jay-Z's been talking recently. He's got some anniversary shows coming up. I made a reaction to his very first album because I never listened to a Jay-Z album in my life. I don't really like Jay-Z that much. And I just personally feel like he was iffy. And I hope it didn't hurt that many people. That's not but the gratification you get, like that I got with Drake, where I hate this motherfucker just for no reason. And then years later, everyone's like, yeah, we hate him too. And I'm like, yes. Same with
You were ahead of the
Kanye.
curve.
So like, yeah. So I want to be there. I want to be there when that happens for Jay-Z. And I want to be there when it happens for Stephen
Well, he
A.
already got caught. He and
Fuck that
Beyonce
shit.
got caught having dinner with or sitting at the same table as Jared Kushner and Ivanka Trump.
And I hope
not too
people
long
don't
ago.
forget that and memory hold
Yeah.
that and go, I don't care. I love The Blueprint. I love Reasonable Doubt. I love Hard Knock Life. I want them. Dude, he's been saying shit like, people only started to use the word capitalist after I made my money or Puffy made his money.
Right.
Or he talked about he didn't like the 50 Cent documentary on Puffy, and 50 Cent's a piece of shit too. T.I. has been kicking his back in, but talking about I didn't like them hitting Puffy when he was down, and I'm like, what do you mean when he was down?
What?
When the video came out of him beating the shit out of
Beating the shit-
Cassie,
yeah.
that like fuck when he's in jail for sex
Yeah, he's
trafficking,
evil.
that's
Yeah,
that's
he's
him being
evil.
down. Oh, we gotta
There-
feel bad for Puffy. Fuck you, Jay. Fuck you, J. Cole. Both
Have
of
you
them.
seen the Puff Daddy documentary?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
great. I mean, he's
it's
fucking
crazy.
evil, dude. He's been evil since the beginning.
super evil. Yeah,
Like,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
But again, the person made it or not made it. 50 Cent like helped put it together because he wants to be Tyler Perry and have a media empire. And he is also a piece of shit. Again, T.I. Do you know the rapper T.I.?
Yeah.
Right. So him and his entire family have been making diss tracks about 50 Cent, and because 50 Cent insulted his wife and blah blah blah. Long story short, he's a piece of shit too, and like his time should come. All of their time should come. All these billionaires, unless you are actively, I played a clip yesterday of a millionaire in New York on the Upper West Side being interviewed for More Perfect Union, being like, please tax me. Tax me. I'm advocating for a wealth tax on me. I used to work at BlackRock, explaining. And I've been saying this is an anti-revolution tax. They
Yes.
are worried. They are noticing. I mean, I got clips pulled up, but, warehouse in California got lit on
Oh
fire.
yeah, the domestic. It's kind of terrorism, right? It's destruction of property.
Yes,
It's ironic.
political
It's
goal.
ironic because the Sons of Liberty were a terrorist organization. The Tea
Right.
Party was a terrorist act. So
Yeah,
it's not like
George
terrorism
Washington
doesn't
and
have a place in
our
history.
revolution was terrorism. It's just that we won.
Yeah,
And so like
didn't want to pay our taxes.
yeah, it for real to the
Didn't want
crowd.
to pay for the French and Indian War.
It's getting there. It's getting to that point. I think we're here now. Again, this last ditch effort to like smear Hassan, which is like randomly picking on him now and
It's
being
helping.
like, it's helping him. He's already
Yeah.
built his platform. You guys are the ones who are irrelevant. You're trying to clout chase by naming him. That
No,
was
if
Andrew
Bill- if-
Cuomo naming
look,
him in the debate. It was crazy.
When Bill Maher has Hassan on, then I will respect him again. Until then, Bill Maher can fuck off and die.
Yeah.
Like this
Or
whole
Sam Cedar.
or Sam Cedar, exactly. Sam Cedar would probably deserve to go on there a little bit more because he's been around longer.
Yeah.
And
He's been on
he would
MSNBC and like
he also
regularly.
wouldn't be a dick. Bill Maher or Sam Cedar doesn't really come across as an asshole. He comes across as one of like the most.
I think
patient
Sam
guys
Cedar
ever.
would be more of specifically to Bill Maher.
Yes.
Sam Cedar would definitely be more of an asshole
Yeah,
to
that's
Bill
true.
Maher
They have
than
that
Hassan.
Jew-on-Jew
Because Hassan's
crime.
younger. Jew on Jew, but also like age wise, they came
Right.
up at around the same
Yeah.
time. And Sam's been watching that decline and is like, I'm sure he would have the fucking knives out for Bill Maher. But folks, is that a show?
Yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Looks like we got the numbers up for Lumen again. We took it from 4 to 15, so that's good. Thank you for watching. I will sign off and let you have the last word, DAP. Please don't forget that you don't get change in America by asking nicely.
I will end with this clip of Sneeko, who's a big neo-Nazi streamer, walking down the street. And again, times are changing.
Put your life force into a sock.
He's talking about not masturbating. You want to put your life force into a sock? He's just talking. This fucking
Put your life force into a sock. Yeah, you deserve to be publicly executed. Yes.
What?
What are we talking about? You.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
What the?
Hey bro.
Times they are changing. Okay,
there's gonna
we
be
don't
more of
let
that.
Nazis
There's gonna be
walk
more of
around
that.
the street. Okay, Nazis should not feel safe walking down the street. They should be embarrassed. People should not be Nazis, folks.
Yes.
Take care. We love you. Lumen's up next. Share this space, folks.
Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
I'll be on Boston Brian in 30 minutes.
Nice.
Peace.